Sandy, how long have we known each other?
It's more than 30 years.
More than 30 years. Different stages in life in 30 years. Yeah, we started in management and leadership development, didn't we?
Right.
And then we have different stages, work together, and also work separately. You have so if you think about your career, what was important that you learned as consultant or advisor versus then being inside a company and managing these big change processes, HR, whatever you have done. So what is the difference in angle?
Yeah, it's a great question. I would say that the different parts of my career, starting out as an officer in the Coast Guard,
yeah,
and I think my passion and interest in leadership is rooted in the time where we were doing rescue work on ships at sea in Alaska and so on. And if you got it right, you saved them.
Yeah.
And if you got it wrong, you didn't. The consequences were severe and immediate for failure. And that leadership and one person can make a huge difference in a scenario like that. And I was fortunate enough then to work as I left the Coast Guard, I got involved in leadership and management development, and very early into my life as a consultant, I met you. And I think that your perspective on leaders and leadership has been growing, but has been pretty consistent since we met. Consistent and developing, and you're always adapting and so on your ideas, but there is a consistency to it, which I really respect. I was, after working in consulting and working on companies, I was very interested to work in one. And so having had the chance to work in Motorola and work in Unilever, and in both in the case of Motorola and Unilever, I asked you to come and help me to do the work there. So, I respect you as a thinker, but also as an advisor, and you were great help to me as I took on a pretty big challenge there at Unilever, and we had a chance to work together there. And also, since I've been at Blackstone, you've been helpful to me in that. I would say that the opportunity to be inside these companies and see what is involved in implementing and the self-imposed limitations that a lot of people put on themselves in these large companies can be overcome if you have the right sort of advice. And I think a kind of inside-outside combination has proven to be actually quite helpful to me in getting things done.
Well, when we worked together heavily in California, I was living there for 5 years, and that was the time when we closest worked together on a daily basis. I think that many times I referred that time that it was worth a couple of dissertations. I learned so much being inside of the best companies in the States and seeing how the big companies work, and also developing with speed. And that I enjoyed most, because with you we have always been able kind of running the stairs so that you have to only step every second. So it goes quickly.
Yeah.
And looking at that time, it gave us kind of thinking. But what I would like to underline there also, that we were standing on the pretty kind of tall shoulders. So like Paul Hersey being a teacher for both of us and so forth. So we were stepping on those so that we could see further. And I think that your practical approach in these companies has brought the kind of insights, and like now this joint venture, that tools you have developed there, we will bring them to the use of Finnish executives. And I think that our plans to go actually global and bring our leadership experience into the equation so that these both can work well together. It kind of opens interesting windows to the future.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I think it's almost uncanny that over the last 10 years, even though we were working separately, I'm in Unilever or Blackstone, and you are driving your company forward. We were studying the same thing, and I don't think that happened by accident. And we were coming to very similar conclusions. You know, our foundation and approach is quite similar. And now we have the opportunity to bring it together and I think do something special. And the fact that we have decided to implement with some depth and significance here in Finland first is great, because of the foundation of the business that you've built here and the kind of connection that you have with this market. You know, by working together, I think we can move faster.
This could be a kind of laboratory for repeated solutions that we can use elsewhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Sandy, future looks exciting. Looking forward to. I'll leave it there. Okay, thank you.